Hi guys, and welcome back. In today's news segment, we're going to discuss the M2 CS/CSL and the new BMW M performance parts that are available for the G20, which we talked about in the last episode. Now, the M2 CS/CSL we've talked about before, but another car's been seen testing around the Nürburgring. It was a white car, had what looked like a carbon bonnet, ceramic brakes, and a carbon roof, but not the carbon roof that's available as a dealer fit option on the M2 competition that's just come out. This roof looked more like the one that we're fitted to our project car Stala, and it had the traditional double bubble style on both sides with the center slightly recessed. The front spoiler was also different. It looks more like the MotoGP one, and it also was sporting the ceramic brakes from the M4. Now, we fitted ceramic brakes and the carbon roof to our car about 2 years ago, but it's nice to see that BMW look like they're finally going to offer it. There has been some discussion about whether this is something they're going to offer as bolt-on parts for the M2 competition or whether this is a completely new car. My personal opinion is that BMW have told us they're going to do M cars like normal M car, competition, CS and CSL. So I think that this is the CS version, and I hope they're going to do a CSL version, which is going to be slightly more lightweight than this and maybe a bit more special. So hopefully they'll do something in the vein of E46 M3 CSL, but time will tell. A day after the G20 3 Series was revealed at the Paris Motor Show, BMW also released details of their M performance parts for this car. Now, it's the most comprehensive list of performance parts I've seen for a normal BMW. They've really gone to town on this car, and they're offering almost every upgrade that you can think of. So far, we know that they're making a new splitter for the front end. Really changes the front end, makes it look much more purposeful. Apparently it's going to come in either matte carbon, gloss carbon or plastic. I also take at the front end, they're going to offer an option of performance brakes, which are bigger than the standard ones and apparently lighter to save on rotational mass and unsprung weight. Inside the car, they've also made a performance steering wheel with a red marker at the top and carbon fiber paddles. Now, we haven't seen carbon fiber paddles or aftermarket paddles from BMW before, but there's a raft of these modifications available from the aftermarket. So it's really interesting to see BMW actually trying to make as many aftermarket parts that are OEM for this car as they can. On the side of the car, they have fitted some side blades, and on the rear of the car you have the option of a diffuser and a rear spoiler. It does change the look of the car from behind for the better. And I did say in my last video that it looks slightly Audi Lexus. It looks more like an Alfa now, which is not such a bad thing. It's going to take a while getting used to these new rear lights from BMW, because we're used to seeing the light that's on the rear quarter being much fuller and then tapering down to a narrow one on the boot. But as you can see on the new lights, they kind of go all the way through. There will be an M Performance exhaust option on this car as well, and it looks like they're going to do either titanium tailpipes or carbon fiber tailpipes with a metal inlay. And finally, they've done it. They've actually released a wheel that looks like the wheel that was made for the 2002 Homage. As soon as I saw that car and that wheel that came on the car, I was like, they need to make and release this wheel. It's absolutely fantastic. The only thing I can be critical about is that the fact that on the G20 it's quite flat. I prefer my wheels with a bit of concave, and when we're designing wheels I always make sure that there's some concave in there. So apart from that, I mean, they look fantastic. My dream wheel would be that particular wheel, but with some concave on the front and rear. I also get asked a lot, with BMW making all these M Performance parts, what do I think about it as a person who develops and makes aftermarket parts for these cars myself? Now, you can see it in two ways. People can see it as a threat and think that they're taking market share, or you can see it in the way that they're actually making modification of a BMW acceptable. Myself, I don't mind it at all. I think the latter. I think doing that to a car and seeing the manufacturer release the parts for it, I think it actually gives people an acceptance that modification is acceptable. And with the performance parts, if most of the people are going for them, then if you want a bit of individuality, you're going to have to pick something else that's not BMW M Performance. So for me, I think it's a good thing. Also last week, we saw that BMW had released some part numbers for the M8 badges. Now you're probably wondering what's the significance of that. The significance is that there was also an M8 competition badge, which means that those two cars are likely to come out at the same time. Now we've got the F90 M5 and the competition came out more or less straight away, with people even cancelling their normal M5 orders and then changing that to a competition. Now normally the competition pack comes out quite a bit later in the lifespan of the car, but BMW have basically followed what Audi are doing with their Plus models and what Mercedes are doing with their S models and launching the competition models at the same time. Now I haven't had a drive of the M5 competition yet, so if anyone's got one, a dealer or anything, and I can drive the car, please let me know, because I'd love to see what the difference is between the normal F90 and the competition, and I'll make like a video review about it. So it's going to be interesting to see how different that car is, because I know on the previous generations the difference has been subtle, but it's been enough to notice and be worth the price difference. On the F90, that's still hanging in the balance. Until I test the car, I'm not going to know, but on paper at least it doesn't seem like there's that much difference. So that's the news. If you want to watch more BMW related news, you can watch that over here. If you'd like to watch something YouTube suggests you might like from our other videos, you can watch that over here. Now, if you did like the video, please click that thumbs up button. And if you've got any questions, you can put those in the comments for us. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel.